Groundbreaking attractions, revolutionary animatronics, and some of the most amazing IPs in the world, Epic Universe is set to change everything. Hello everybody, welcome. With all the innovative thinking that has gone into creating Epic Universe, it is really hard to imagine that maybe they've missed something. But there is one thing that could be a major problem for Universal. Alright, I want to start out this video by saying this video might be a little bit different from my normal videos on Epic Universe, and we're going to tread some ground here. We're going to talk about some things that I really want to get into, and I really don't want you to like go crazy and freak out and like get super mad and raise the pitchforks and unsubscribe from my channel. Look, I might just be the biggest Epic Universe fan out there. Many of you know I've been covering this park for a long time now, and virtually all of my videos are really just hyping this park up. Some might even say I'm overhyping this park. But as we get closer to opening day, May 22nd, 2025, we learn more and more about this park. We learn what's going to be available on opening day, all the things that are going to be going on, and even potential expansion plans. Now, I think a lot of people have been accused of overhyping Epic Universe, myself included. Look, I get it, but it's really hard not to be so excited for the first major theme park coming to Orlando in 25 years. Something so big that it really has a shot of going head to head with Magic Kingdom, which has been the reigning theme park champion for decades now. But here's the thing with hype. It can be kind of dangerous. Have you ever gone to a movie that was like extremely hyped, overhyped, people were hyping it up for like weeks and weeks, and word of mouth is going crazy, and then you finally were like, okay, I'm gonna go see this movie, and then you went and saw it and you're kind of like, yeah, I mean, it was aight. It was aight, you know, it was good, but like, you weren't like gassed about it, because it was so hyped up in your mind that you were expecting it to be this like groundbreaking, amazing thing that you've never seen before, and no one could ever possibly imagine it being that good. So even though it was a fine movie, your expectations were just super out of whack. Conversely, some of the best movies for me that I've ever seen in my life were movies that like had no hype at all, that I had like really low expectations going into. I was like, this is kind of probably just gonna be okay, or maybe it's gonna be dog, I don't know. But I go in to see the movie and I'm like, wow, I'm pleasantly surprised, this was good. And then so I start thinking, man, this was actually awesome, because my expectations just weren't hyped up. So the same thing happens with theme parks and attractions and all sorts of things. So in the spirit of tamping down some of the hype, I want to talk about a potential issue that we are seeing with Epic Universe. And this is one that one of our viewers actually called out that I thought I really should probably do a video on this. So thanks to Jan Rodriguez 13 on YouTube, that was a great comment. So let's get into it. Epic Universe has a serious lack of indoor attractions. Almost everything is outdoor. Now stay with me, don't break out the pitchforks yet.
Don't try it. I have the high ground.
I mean, I know you're thinking, you're like, oh, that's not even a big deal, and you're already starting to get alarmed. You were down there getting ready to write your comment right now to me in response to this video. Give me a chance, let me walk you through it. Let me sort of explain to you my rationale, why I think this is an issue, and why I think Universal knows that this is an issue, and their plans to fix it. Now, I'm gonna say this is probably one of the most important things I'm gonna say right here in this video. This does not mean that I think that this park is going to fail, or that I think this park is not going to be great. I still think, even despite the lack of indoor attractions, that it is going to be amazing. It is going to be epic, just like the name says, Epic Universe. But I still want to kind of walk you through it. So let's get into the data and why this is important. Orlando, where Epic Universe will be located, has rain approximately, on average, 130 days a year. 130 days a year it rains in Orlando. And on average, 51 inches of rain. That is a lot of water and rain. Conversely, looking at an area like Los Angeles, it only rains 34 days a year on average, and only 14 inches of rain. So that is a huge difference in some of the drier areas of the country to some of the more humid and wet locations of the country, like Florida. In fact, overall, Florida has the 4th largest volume of rain in the entire United States, right behind Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. In addition, Florida is the lightning capital of the United States. It has more lightning and lightning strikes per square foot of property than anywhere in the United States. And that equates to over 20 million lightning strikes a year in Florida. 20 million. Now, in addition, it's also hot in Florida. I mean, really hot. On average, Florida has 111 days a year where the temperature is over 90 degrees. 111 days. So let's look at the math. 1/3 of the days in Florida, it rains. 1/3 of the days in Florida, it's over 90 degrees. And it's the lightning capital of the United States. So just looking at those numbers alone, rain, lightning, and heat, not the best bedfellows for theme parks. A lot of people don't really like to go to theme parks when it's pouring down rain, or there's a lot of lightning because things are getting shut down, or if it's super, super hot. So let's take a quick look at all of the other theme parks in the area and compare them to what Epic Universe is going to have when it comes to indoor-outdoor attractions. Looking at Universal Studios, so let's start with the Universal properties. Universal Studios has 10 out of the 14 attractions at Universal Studios are indoor. So 10 indoor attractions out of 14. Islands of Adventure only has 4 out of 18 attractions. So 4, they don't have very many at all. So they have a lot of outdoor attractions, not a lot of indoor attractions. But now let's move over to Disney. Magic Kingdom, guess how many? 14 out of 25. More than half the attractions at Magic Kingdom are indoor. That's a lot too, 14. That's a ton of attractions that are indoor. Epcot, 10 out of 11. Basically all of them except for Test Track. Everything at Epcot is indoor. Animal Kingdom, 4 out of 8. And Hollywood Studios has 8 out of 11 of their attractions are indoor. Now let's move over to SeaWorld. Surprisingly, 0 out of 15 attractions at SeaWorld are indoor. Basically, all of SeaWorld's attractions are outside. Busch Gardens, even worse. 0 out of 18 attractions. 0. So SeaWorld and Busch Gardens, 0. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit, why that matters. So how many does Epic Universe really have? How many indoor attractions does Epic have? They have 3. 3 out of 11 attractions. Only 3. Now those 3 are going to be Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment. This is the indoor awesome attraction in Dark Universe. It just looks spectacular. It uses the Kuka arm ride system, and you're going to get just a fully immersive experience with all the monsters you could ever imagine. Then we've got the Battle at the Ministry attraction in the Wizarding World area there. Again, that is going to be similar to a scoop ride system that extends about 10 feet upwards. Very immersive experience. Think something like Spider-Man or Transformers on steroids. And then in the Super Nintendo area, we have Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. It's where you're driving through, basically doing a race. It's like a really cool indoor dark ride. Now there are 2 shows, the Untrainable Dragon in the How to Train Your Dragon area and the Le Cirque Arcanus, which is in the Wizarding World. I'm not counting those 2 shows because if I add all the shows in, all the other theme parks, they also have a lot of shows, and that's just gonna throw the numbers off. So I'm just kind of leaving shows out of the equation for now. I'm really focusing on major attractions. So as I said, now SeaWorld and Busch Gardens have 0. And you would think, you may be thinking in your mind, look, they have 0 and they're doing fine. They're doing just fine. They are doing fine. But if you look at the attendance numbers for 2023, last year, we have the attendance numbers of all the theme parks and how they're doing. SeaWorld is number 10 on that list. Busch Gardens is number 13. And not only that, they have basically less than half of the attendance of any of the Universal or Disney parks. And SeaWorld being number 10, Busch Gardens being number 13, it's not bad, it's not horrible. But do you think they want Epic Universe to be number 10? Or 13? Or 14? Or 15? No, they want to be number 1. And if you want to be number 1, let's take a look at what's number 1. You know what's number 1? The theme park that has 14 indoor attractions. 14, of course. Magic Kingdom, that's number 1. Their attendance is 17 million in 2023. That's 7 million more than Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. 7 million. The only thing even close is Disneyland. You know how many indoor attractions Disneyland has? They have 15 indoor attractions. So you have 14 attractions Magic Kingdom that are indoor, 17 million. You've got 15 indoor attractions, 17 million. And then it drops off pretty far. It goes from 17 million down to about 12 million, 11 million, 10 million. Most of these parks there are stacked in the 10 million, sort of 11 to 12 million range. So the next one on the list there is Epcot. Epcot has 10 out of their 11 are indoor attractions. After Epcot, it's basically a toss-up between all the Universal parks and the other remaining Disney parks, all around that 10 million spot. I mean, they're just kind of edging each other in and out or whatever. Now, as I said, all of these parks have tons of indoor attractions. Now, there is an outlier in there. You can see it, Islands of Adventure. I already said they only have 4 indoor attractions, but it's right up there at the top and it's doing really well. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But basically what you're seeing is that the theme parks with more indoor attractions in Florida are doing better than the theme parks that have less indoor attractions. Again, rain, lightning, heat, all play a factor. I'm a local. I live in Orlando. I live in Florida. Do you know where I'm going on a rainy day? When it rains here in Orlando, do you know what parks I go to? I go to Magic Kingdom, Epcot, or Universal Studios. I don't go to Islands of Adventure. I definitely don't go to SeaWorld because people don't like to be outside in the rain. I mean, yes, you can just throw a poncho on because a lot of times it's light rain, but again, there is a lot of lightning also. And what does lightning do and heavy rains and heavy winds associated with storms do? It shuts down outdoor attractions. And so I don't like going to theme parks and having things shut down on me all day, because what happens to the things that aren't shut down, the indoor rides, the lines get 2 to 3 times longer for those attractions, and there's a lot less to do. So you don't really feel like you're getting your money's worth. So Epic Universe, with only 3 indoor attractions, could very well suffer from that exact problem. On a windy, stormy, lightning day, you may have only 3 attractions running in that entire park for long periods of time. And that is very likely to happen. Now, attractions do run outdoors in Florida in the rain. It's only when the rain is severe with the high winds and lightning where they shut things down. In addition, heat plays a big factor. Heat doesn't bother me at all. I live in Florida. I love the heat. The hotter the better for me. So it doesn't bother me at all. But a lot of people, they don't like being outside sweating the entire day when it's super hot, 90 degrees plus out. They don't like that. And so they're going to be trying to find places to go that are indoor. Now, earlier I said, I think Universal knows that. They know that they need more indoor attractions. Why did I say that? Why do I think that? If you look at all of the cut or delayed attractions that have been planned for Epic Universe, they were all indoor attractions. Now, I believe they will be adding these indoor attractions as part of some of their expansion plans for Epic Universe. So let's quickly walk through what those attractions were. First up was the Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is supposed to be some sort of dark indoor boat ride experience for Dark Universe. We've talked about that in previous videos. Again, that was a planned attraction that is potentially either cut now or held off for a phase 2 expansion for Epic Universe there in Dark Universe. Next up, we had the second Wizarding World attraction that was supposed to be right next to the Battle with the Ministry. That was supposed to be originally it's been planned to be different things. It started out as like some sort of broomstick or VR type experience that was actually going to end up being over in Universal Studios. That got canceled. They put it over to Epic Universe. Then that got kind of put on hold and canceled. And so we don't really know. I think the VR thing might be out. Don't know what it's going to end up being, or if they're reimagining what they want, because I think that they didn't really like that concept. But that attraction was supposed to be some sort of indoor experience. Now, interestingly, they still have, and they've still built the facade for that attraction. They just haven't built the attraction itself behind it. But there is space there to do that. So that again was another indoor attraction that essentially got paused or delayed or canceled. And then the third thing was a Dark Universe Monsters show. Now, I did say we're not including shows in this, but I did want to just point out that they were planning, at least that's what we had heard, that they were thinking of some sort of large show building that was going to have some sort of monsters or Dark Universe type show in it in that area of the park. and that got canceled or delayed. But again, it was another indoor thing that could house a lot of people. So if they were to add those 3 things, that would bring Epic Universe up to 6 indoor attractions, which I think is much more reasonable for a park of its size. Now I want to go back because I said earlier, Islands of Adventure is an outlier in that data. Again, outlier, it has 4 indoor attractions and it is mostly outdoor attractions and it's doing quite well. So despite all the rain, despite all the heat, despite all the lightning, it's still getting huge attendance numbers and people love Islands of Adventure. Why? Number 1, Spider-Man. Spider-Man. One of the best dark rides ever made. So it doesn't have a lot of indoor attractions, but one of those indoor attractions, Spider-Man, is peak dark ride experience. Like peak. I know it's old now, but it wasn't at the time. When it was first created, it was one of the most amazing things I had ever experienced in my life. And so now here, many years later, I still love that attraction. Even though I ride it now and I still love it and still think it's amazing, there's better things out there now, but I still have a lot of love for that attraction. So it's one of the first things that I do every time I go to Islands of Adventure, and that's one of the big reasons I like to go to Islands of Adventure, is to experience that attraction. And again, it's an indoor ride. Number 2, Forbidden Journey. It does make some people sick, but again, it is a really cool attraction and it is indoor. It puts a lot of people through too. So Spider-Man and Forbidden Journey have pretty high throughput rates. I mean, it gets a lot of people through it. And the Forbidden Journey is a Wizarding World experience. It's not something small like a Winnie the Pooh at Magic Kingdom, which counts as one of their dark rides. It is something that people really love to experience. It's Harry Potter, which is obviously huge. So we've got 2 indoor rides at Islands of Adventure that are basically banger rides. Number 3, Hagrid's. There's really not a lot more to say besides Hagrid's. Yes, it's an outdoor coaster, but it has a huge draw. I mean, it is one of the top coasters in the entire world. It is probably the top experiential coaster in the entire world. It's just insanely good. It is just that crazy attraction that draws people in, rain or shine. It doesn't matter. People are trying to get to that attraction. Number 4 is similar vein, Velocicoaster. Velocicoaster is that mega type coaster that is going to be there for coaster enthusiasts that are looking to get their hair blown back and are just looking for a thrill, top of the line experience ride it's just going to give them that thrill. Velocicoaster has it in spades. So you've got 2 amazing indoor rides and you have 2 absolutely outstanding outdoor rides. So what this means is that even if Epic Universe doesn't have a lot of indoor rides, if those indoor rides are amazing and they have some really good outdoor thrill rides that are going to draw people in, I don't think it will matter as much. I don't think it will matter as much. I think it will still matter. Again, if we're wanting to get to that number 1 spot and replace Magic Kingdom as the pinnacle theme park of the world, I still think they're going to need more. I think they're going to need more indoor attractions and more experiences. But I don't think it will matter as much. So there you have it. I hope you hung with me through this episode. I mean, it was a lot. Again, I still think Epic is going to be a completely amazing success, but I just wanted to sort of like, we've been hyping it up a lot, and I thought, you know what, maybe I should kind of like tamp the hype down a little bit and let's be a little bit more realistic so that when we go into Epic Universe, we know that these are the experiences we're going to get, and I still think there will be a lot of technical difficulties. I think the lines are going to be crazy. Tamp the expectations down a little bit for the first few months of Epic Universe. So I wanted to do this video because I wanted to do that. But again, let me know what you think. Do you feel like I'm totally off the mark? Do you just think I'm insane? They don't need any indoor rides. That's garbage. You just want to see more giga coasters and things. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Again, hit the notification button so you know when my next video drops, and be sure to like, subscribe, share. And again, I've said it before, share this video with your friends. If they're passionate about Epic Universe and they're excited for it, share this video and get their point of view. I'd love to hear from their comments as well. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Until I see you next time, the noble way is the easy way. Bye-bye, everybody.